So, Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all my lovely students who are here. I hope that you all are well and fine. I warmly welcome you back to the class of Social Studies. So, dear students, it is going to be our lecture number 19, but the lecture number 1 of our final term. Up till now, we have covered the chapters which were included in our midterm. Now, this is going to be the very first chapter of our final term. Just wait for a while, let everybody come. Beta, please be in time next time, okay? So this is your social studies class, and today we are going to have our lecture number 19, and this is your teacher, your social studies teacher, Ms. Nagira. And today we are here to start another lecture of social studies. So let's get started. So the chapter that we are going to start today would be our languages. The chapter which we are going to start today would be our languages, and this is the chapter number 1 of our final term. Okay, although it's chapter number 16 in our syllabus, but chapter number 6 in our syllabus, but this is going to be the first chapter of our final term. Okay, many of the chapters we have covered in our midterm. This is going to be the first chapter for our final term. So this is basically your chapter number 6, and it is on page number 6. Okay, and the name is our languages. Language is a word that is really common, and you all are familiar with this word, and you must know that why do we use language and what is the importance of language. And as you know that in our social studies book, we are supposed to have the discussion or the knowledge. We are going to have the knowledge of South Asia. So basically we are going to have the focus on those languages which are spoken in South Asia, and mainly we are going to discuss the languages of Pakistan. Okay, so let's start it. Here are some of the things which we are going to learn one by one in this chapter. So we can say that these are the bullets of your chapter. So what kind of things we are going to learn in this chapter? The story of Urdu. We are going to see that how the Urdu came into being and why it is important. Okay, and from where it has originated. The development of Urdu up to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, there were many writers, poets, authors in the language of Urdu, and they had done great work in the field of Urdu. We are going to see their achievements. Beta, I request you to be in time for the next time, okay, please. Then we are going to learn about the regional languages of Pakistan. We know that Urdu is our language, mother tongue, and national language, but there are many other languages which are spoken throughout the Pakistan. So we are going to see how they are important and who are the important poets and the authors of those regional languages. Then we're going to learn about Jeeve Pakistan. You must have heard, or this is a national song, Jeeve Jeeve Pakistan. We are going to see that it was written by whom. Okay. Regional languages of Pakistan. The English language in Pakistan, the importance of English language in Pakistan, as we know that English is international language and it is spoken throughout the world, not only the Pakistan. So what we can say that we will see here that how English is important in Pakistan. Then we would learn about Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar. Beta, is my voice clear? Is my voice clear and loud? Am I audible? Okay. Languages for national unity. You would see that why a language is important for a nation. In this, we would learn about the influence of Rumi. He is a writer. We would learn that what kind of story he has told us and he has written, right? The national anthem. In the last, we would learn about the national anthem, that it was written by whom, the lyrics were written by, given by whom, and the, okay. Before we start the actual content of our book, let's discuss that why a language is important. What is a language? Basically, in simple words, we can say that language is a mean of communication. You must have learned in different subjects in computer as well. Simply, the simplest definition of the language is the mean of communication. Okay, language is a medium or the mean through which we can communicate our thoughts. Okay, it can be written, it can be spoken. It is consisting of words. Okay, there is a proper structure for speaking a language. Okay, and there are different languages spoken in the world. Different country, all the countries have their national languages, and there is an international language which is English, and it is spoken throughout the world. Native languages of Pakistan. As I told you that in this chapter, we are mainly going to focus on those languages which are spoken in Pakistan. Okay, so here are some of the languages which are spoken in Pakistan. And as we know that Urdu is our national language. But on the other hand, we know that uh, the province Punjab is largest in terms of population. Okay, so we can see that the highest percentage is of Punjabi, right? And there are different percentages that you can see in front of you, that is appeared on your screen. So let's discuss one by one. So in the beginning, we are going to see the story of Urdu. Okay, people used to meet in army camps. Okay, let's repeat again. The Urdu is our national language. Okay, so how it came into being and how it was originated. What used to be happen that people used to meet in army camps. Okay, soldiers were recruited from Turkey, Persia, Afghanistan, as well as various regions. So their languages mixed up and new hybrid came into being, and it was known as Urdu. If we see the meaning of the word Urdu, it means camp. It means camp, and in Urdu you must have learned that Urdu means Lashkar. Okay, you must have learned that Urdu means Lashkar, and here we are saying Urdu means camp. So beta, you need to understand that Urdu is a language which is composed of number of the languages. It is not a single language. It is now single language, but if we see the words of Urdu, most of the words are taken from Persian language and different languages. Why? Because people used to meet in army camps. In army camps, the people used to be there, and they were from different regions of the world. Okay, so they used to speak their own languages. Now these all languages combine together and their words get mixed. A new hybrid came. Hybrid means mixture. Hybrid means mixture. So actually their languages, whose languages? The people who came from different regions of the world. Okay, they used to communicate with each other in their own language. So what happened? Their languages mixed up and new hybrid came to be known as Urdu. So what does Urdu mean? Urdu means camp in Turkish. Urdu means camp in Turkish. One more thing I'm going to clear here, that most of the words of Urdu are taken from Persian language. Okay. So what happened in the times of sultans of Delhi? People from several nations used to meet in army camps. The soldiers were recruited from Turkey, Persia, Afghanistan, and different regions of South Asia and the world as well. Their languages were mixed up, and new hybrid came to be known as Urdu. And what does it mean? It means camp in Turkish. And during that period, people used to use Urdu for only speaking while using Turkish, Persian, or Arabic for all their writings. Okay, so but slowly and gradually, Urdu was written as well. Urdu was spoken as well. Many of the poetries are there. Many of the novels and different books were composed in the language of Urdu. Okay, beta, I want everyone to be with me. Stay here till the last. We are going to discuss some of the important things regarding a written work as well. Okay, so stay with me till the last, please. And please don't get late from for the next time, please. Now here in the background, you can see some of the poets or the authors who had done the great work in Urdu. So the next thing which we are going to learn now is development of Urdu up till Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. What we have learned about the story of Urdu, in which we have got to know that Urdu is a hybrid language. It is a hybrid language. What is hybrid? Hybrid is a word that is showing the combination or the mixture, right? So Urdu is a word that was composed of many of the words from different languages. Okay, and these different languages include uh, Persian and Turkish, okay, and different languages. So here comes some of the important personalities who had done the great work in Urdu, okay. So their names are in front of you: Wali Dakkani, Shah Waliullah, Mir Taqi Mir, Sachal Sarmas, Mir Aman of Delhi, Mirza Ghalib, and Bahadur Shah Zafar. Then in the last, we would learn about Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Because what is the main heading of our book? Development of Urdu up to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay. So we would see that how Urdu grew with the passage of time. So let's start from Wali Dakkani. He was from Dakkan, that's why his name is Wali Dakkani. Here is the heir or the son, and here is the picture. Here is the picture of Wali Dakkani. Now we are going to see his achievements in Urdu. He was the first poet who wrote complete collection of ghazals. Complete collection of ghazals. And it is known as Diwan. So if I ask you what is Diwan, you can simply say it is the complete collection of ghazals. Okay? So Wali Dakkani was the first poet who wrote the complete collection of ghazals, which is also known as Diwan in Urdu. Now, the second one is Shah Waliullah. Here's the picture of Shah Waliullah. What he did for Urdu, he started a movement of spreading general knowledge about religion and society among common people. Okay, he started a movement in which he started spreading the general knowledge about religion and society among the people. This affected the Urdu in the next generation. So basically, if we see the achievement of Shah Waliullah, he had not written any of the Risala or magazine and book. What he did, he started a movement. What kind of movement he started? He started a movement of spreading general knowledge. Okay, spreading general knowledge, and the general knowledge which he started spreading, that was about religion and society. Okay, the common people which were unaware of many of the things. So what Shah Waliullah did, Shah Waliullah started spreading the general knowledge about religion and society among common people. And this movement actually affected the development of Urdu in the next generation. Means not in his time, but later on it was the Urdu was more developed now in the next generation. Okay, so Wali Dakkani wrote the first complete collection of ghazal that is known as Diwan. So, what kind of achievement we can remember about the Wali Dakkani? We can remember that he wrote the first complete collection of ghazals, which is also known as Diwan. Okay, beta, we are going to learn about many of the authors and poets, so please, beta, don't get confused. Just remember 2 to 3 points for each. Okay, so Wali Dakkani, we can remember one of the point that is really important. Diwan, which is a complete collection of ghazals, was written by Wali Dakkani. When it comes on Shah Waliullah did not write anything like poetry or novels or stories. He started a movement of spreading general knowledge about religion and society. Okay, this is the thing which we are going to highlight in the book as well. Okay, so among common people who were unaware of many of the things, he started a movement of spreading general knowledge to everyone. And this movement affected the people. This movement affected the development of Urdu in the next generation. This is how this achievement is important in the development of Urdu. Here, basically, we are learning about the development of Urdu up till Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Wali Dakkani wrote Diwan, right? Shah Waliullah started the movement which affected the development of Urdu. Now here comes the third personality, who is Mir Taqi Mir. Here is a picture of Mir Taqi Mir. From many Urdu poets, Mir Taqi Mir stands out as the genius who developed Urdu for expressing almost any kind of thought. It means emotions and different thoughts. How these emotions and thoughts can be executed through a language. This was the achievement done by Mir Taqi. Basically, he was a poet, okay, and how he played his role in development of Urdu. From many poets, Mir Taqi Mir was the one who developed Urdu for expressing almost any kind of thought. Clear? Okay, so what kind of thing we are going to learn, we are going to remember, or what achievement we are going to remember about Mir Taqi Mir, that from many poets, Mir Taqi Mir was the one who developed Urdu for expressing the thoughts and emotions. Clear? Then comes Sachal Sarmas. Here is the picture of Sachal Sarmas. Now, if you see the picture, you can find him a little bit different. You can find him like a Sufi, as we had learned about the Sufism in our chapter Muslim rule in South Asia. Okay, Sufis are the people who believe in peace and love. Okay, so Sachal Sarmas was a great Sufi master who lived in Sindh, but wrote poetry in 7 languages, including Urdu. So how we are going to remember his achievement? We must know that he was the poet. Okay, he was a poet of Urdu, plus he was a Sufi. He was Sufi as well, and he did not write his poetry in Urdu only. He wrote his poetry in 7 languages. How many languages? 7 languages. Sachal Sarmas wrote the poetry in 7 languages, including Urdu. That is why we are going to learn about him, because he wrote his poetry in Urdu as well. And here is the shrine of Sachal Sarmas, you must have seen. Now next that we are going to learn is Mir Aman of Delhi. Beta, if you want to write the important points, you can write them roughly somewhere, okay? Don't write in your copy. And if you want the important lines to be written in your copy, so please use the backside pages, okay? So a written work would not be disturbed. Okay. Now here's a picture of Mir Aman of Delhi. Wali Dakkani from Deccan, and he was from Delhi. He wrote a remarkable book. Mir Aman of Delhi wrote a remarkable book that is named as Bago Bahar. You must remember the name Bago Bahar, and it is really important. It is really important to know that Bago Bahar is one of the famous book in Urdu, and it was written by Mir Aman of Delhi. It is translation of an interesting story written by Amir Khusro. Now this story, Bago Bahar, is the name of book, but it is basically a kind of story that was actually written by Amir Khusro, but it was translated in Urdu by Mir Aman of Delhi. The story tells that one day the kings and all the people will become equal. So what kind of a story does this book have? The book Bago Bahar, which is an interesting book. Actually, it is the translation of an interesting story, and this story was actually written by Amir Khusro in Persian, but later on it was translated in Urdu. It was translated in Urdu by Mir Aman of Delhi. Okay, what kind of story does this book have? This story tells us that one day all the kings and all the people will become equal, and this is a kind of main topic. Mir Aman wrote this translation in 1904 AD for British officers at Fort William College in Calcutta who wanted to learn Urdu. Okay. Why it was written in Urdu? Because what Mir Aman wanted, he wrote this translation in 1804 for British officers at Fort William College. There was a college in Calcutta, and it was Fort William College. So that is why Mir Aman of Delhi translated this language, this story in Urdu. Basically, this story was written in Persian by Amir Khusro. Later on, it was translated by Mir Aman of Delhi in Urdu. Beta, please switch off the camera. Anya, Shanti. Babu Bahar started a trend of writing prose in the language now. Okay, now you can see that how the Urdu is being developed time by time. So what you're going to remember about Mir Aman of Delhi? He wrote a remarkable book, Bago Bahar, that is actually having a story which was written by Amir Khusro in Persian. Okay, this story was written in Persian by Amir Khusro. Then later on, it was translated by Mir Aman of Delhi in Urdu. Here is the cover page of book Bago Bahar, and here you can see that Mir Aman Dilli Wale, okay, because it is the book of Urdu, so that is why it is written as Mir Aman Dilli Wale, okay. Now here comes the Mirza Ghalib, and here we are going to see his achievements. You must have heard his name. He is one of the most famous poet of Urdu. He was a great poet, historian, thinker, and well known throughout the South Asia, not only in the Pakistan, not only in the subcontinent, but throughout the South Asia. He wrote some of the Urdu's finest poetry and prose and developed Urdu for expressing deep philosophical thoughts. As you must have heard his name, Asadullah Mirza Ghalib. Okay, Asadullah Mirza Ghalib is full name, and he was a great poet. Was a great poet, and here comes his picture. He was a great poet, historian, thinker. Okay, and well known throughout the South Asia, wrote some of the finest poetry in Urdu. Now here comes the Bahadur Shah Zafar, and we know about him that he was the last Mughal ruler and respected by people of South Asia and propagate Urdu poetry through recitals. That is actually mushaira, sher wa shairi. Okay? So how he propagated Urdu? He propagated Urdu poetry through recitals, which is mushaira. He wrote Punjabi ghazals as well. And here comes the picture of Bahadur Shah Zafar. We had learned many of the things about Bahadur Shah Zafar in our previous chapters as well. Okay, so we know that he was the last Mughal and he was respected by many of the people of South Asia, and he propagated Urdu poetry through recitals, and he wrote many of the Punjabi ghazals as well. As you can see, one of the book of him is in front of you, Diwan-e-Zafar. Now here comes Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He is well-known personality. He was a historian and journalist. He wrote several books and essays in Urdu, brought out modern Urdu magazines. That's how Urdu became rich in new kinds of material, some of which is not available in any other language. Now you can see it is a great achievement of Urdu now. Up till now, many of the poets we have seen, many of the authors who wrote different stories, but the very first time magazines was introduced by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, and it was a great development of Urdu. Maulana Hali, a great Urdu poet and critic, called him father of Urdu. Okay, he is basically not the father of Urdu, but according to his achievement, one of the great poets of Urdu called him as father of Urdu. And here is a book of him. Okay, beta, here comes the page, on your page number 8, this is the first paragraph. Okay, not everyone agreed with this approach. Now many of the new things were introduced in Urdu language and everybody was not happy with this. Okay, so not everyone agreed with this. Okay, so there were many who believed that the poor or unschooled should not be included in decision making. However, there have been many great writers since then who believed in what happened, Hamza, who believed in the idea of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and gave importance to opinions of masses. The personalities developed Urdu for discovering new ideas which had never been expressed before. Allama Iqbal, our national poet, was one of them. Now students, here is the page number 6 of your book, and here's the page number 7 of your book. Here you can see this the story of Urdu, and here you can see that it means camp. Okay, in Turkish it means camp, and basically it is the hybrid or the mixture or the combination of different languages or different words of different languages. From here you can see the different achievements of different poets and authors. So I recommend you to read out yourself. So let's wind up our lecture and discuss some of the important things about final term. Okay, so it was my pleasure to interact with you after a week. So thank you so much.